by a journalist from the Orlando Sentinel who was writing a story as a follow-up to the terror attack at the Pulse nightclub, which had happened in early June of last year. And she found me through the internet because of my work on dark tourism, and she wanted to get some, she was shocked, and she was actually expressing her emotion about the fact that writing a follow-up story about what had happened at Pulse, she found a lot of people taking selfies in front of the now closed and completely closed off nightclub. And so this started a conversation and for me a kind of deeper reflection about this phenomenon, which is not new in a sense, because people have been taking pictures at sites of violent death, where if we think of troops liberating Nazi camps, for example, war reporters, spectators of lynching, as early as there were some photography, and also at the aftermath of hurricanes, for example. So what is it about selfies that, whether they are in Auschwitz or in S21 in Cambodia or in other sites of violent death, what is it about them that is disturbing, that triggers negative reactions, such as the New York Post, after a gas explosion that was absolutely accidental in the West Village 2 years ago? This is the cover of the New York Post. Selfies at tragic mass site, village idiots. Pretty clear condemnation. So the term selfie was coined in 2014. It's a newbie in our language toolkit, and it includes very specific elements in its production and consumption that I want to go over with you. First, it's a picture of oneself. It's a close-up. It's not a picture of others, which is a big difference with the kind of pictures I mentioned earlier. Second, it's taken at arm's length. So the camera is a kind of prosthetic extension of the arm, but it doesn't go beyond that. There's no remote or timer or other person taking a picture. That means that there's also the limitation of the body, of the measurements of the body. Third, it is staged, and that's very important. By staged, I mean there's a pose, there's a background that's visible, there's something about the background that's important to show, there's a caption, there's a filter, can be all of this. So there's a whole post-production management that takes place in a selfie. And the last aspect, of course, which is this most recent and interesting one, is that it's immediately shared via social media, not just with a small group of friends, like showing your pictures, the slideshow of your grandparents after vacation time. This is about a much more global circle of friends, with friends being the very elastic word that Facebook has also reshaped. So what does it do in light of dark sites? Well, when you take a picture of yourself, a lot of visual theorists have been interested in the selfie, like Nicholas Mirzoff at NYU or Agnès Lichtenstein in Paris, and some of them see it as a form of narcissism. I have to show myself, I was there. There's also attached to that a trend of pics, or you weren't there, or it doesn't exist. There's a mean of showing some kind of evidence that you were there. Other people see it as a contemporary avatar of the self-portrait. Others see it as a psychological expression of FOMO, fear of missing out. So part of the trend of showing that you're traveling, that you're seeing things, that you're in tune with things, is to take a picture of yourself in those sites. Regardless of, I'm not a psychologist, so I don't want to go into which is what, but these are some potential explanations. The selfie creates a tension between the self, which occupies most of the picture, as you have, go back to the previous examples, and the site of mass murder in our case, which is relegated to the background. So there's an inversion that puts the site of murder, and by extension, the victims of murder, in the background, while the photographer becomes the main object. Second, the main object of the photograph, the self, is posing, whether smiling, making faces, or making choreographical gestures. So these are all artificial signs. These are parodies. It's constructed. Again, it's staged, it's performed. And this is another way of clashing with the kind of the untouched nature. I want to say authentic, not in the sense that it's the real thing, but in the sense that it's a historical site. So you have the staging, you have the parody, the artifice, and the background is the historical natural site. So that's another point of tension.